Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. I hope you're having a scrump diddly docious Saturday. It's your boy Nebulosis. And yeah, like I just said, I hope everyone is having a wonderful Saturday. It is the weekend. Secrets of Strixhaven is out. All is good. But we're going to put a small little asterisk next to all is good. Let's take a quick peek at the chat. I see we have Horror Story here, Legend in the chat. Welcome. Happy to have you. Hope you're doing well, my friend. I see we have a few lurkers as well. Lurkers are more than welcome to hang around the neighborhood. Hey there, neighbor. So yeah, hope everyone's doing well. I am going to play something slightly different today. We'll be looking at Timeless, which is probably my favorite format. I love how absolutely degenerate Timeless is. I know everyone complains about Standard, and that is the format I mostly play for you guys. But yeah, I absolutely love Timeless just because it is so degenerate. And I know we kind of joke sometimes, or I don't even think we really joke. You know, we complain that Standard is a turn 4 format, which I am also on that bandwagon or in that camp. I wish Standard was a little bit slower, just because Historic, absolutely crazy, and Timeless, I think, is the format where you can just be super degenerate. You can honestly get I guess you could quantify it or qualify it as a turn 0 win before the opponent even plays a single card. You can, in theory, win. So yeah, Timeless is where things get really, really crazy. Horror Story says it's a rainy day. Well, hopefully you don't need to go outside then. I always think it sucks when you have to go outside in the rain. Anyways, with Secrets of Strixhaven, we got the Mystical Archive cards that have been added, and there are 2 new cards that have been added, and everyone, and I mean everyone, is absolutely jamming these 2 cards in their decks. And the 2 cards I'm talking about are Daze and Force of Will. Both of these, we can already see the colors right there. These 2 blue cards are counter spells, and you can actually play them for free. You don't need to have any mana open. Daze, what you have to do to play it for free is you have to return an island back to your hand, and then you can counter a target spell unless its controller pays 1. And Force of Will, honestly one of the most famous blue cards of all time. At least it's really, really high up there. Force of Will is 5 mana, counter a spell, but you can play it for free if you pay 1 life and then exile a blue card from your hand. So yeah, everyone is hyped that these have been added to Timeless. I'm also in that camp. You know, I just like as many things to be added, just because I think Timeless should be just as degenerate as possible. But I'm telling you guys, everyone is jamming these 2 cards, and we have the perfect counterplay for it. Is with a Eldrazi deck. One of my favorite creature types of all time is dinosaurs and Eldrazi's, and we honestly have 2 cards that are amazing at countering these 2 counter spells. One of them is Vexing Bauble. We get that one down for just 1 mana, and then you guys can see whenever a player casts a spell, if no mana was spent to cast it, then you get to counter that spell. So yeah, Daze people play without paying the mana cost, as well as Force of Will. So in Horror Story, he says he owned them in the 90s. Force of Will. They left your binder when they were traded or sold. That'd be awesome if you still had a copy of Force of Will. But so yeah, Vexing Bauble is really good to counter those 2 cards. It is also really good against the Show and Tell decks as well. For those of you guys that don't know, Show and Tell is a 3 mana sorcery, I believe. And it says you can put anything basically onto the battlefield. So people play Show and Tell on turn 3, and they put Omniscience onto the battlefield. It's kind of like Kona for those of you guys that play Standard. It's just you can achieve it on... in theory, you could achieve it on turn 1. Most of the time, they achieve it on turn 2 or turn 3. They get an Omniscience down, and Vexing Bauble is a really, really good way of countering that one. And then honestly, another really nice card is Chalice of the Void. A lot of these players who are playing Daze and Force of Will, they're playing with a lot of 1 and 2 mana spells as well. So if we can get Chalice of the Void, and we can have a charge counter of 1 on this one, then any player who casts a spell with 1 mana value will get countered. We do need 4 mana, and then we could put 2 charge counters on this one, and then no player can cast a spell with mana value 2, which is really nice. And we actually do have a way of actually pulling that off on turn 1, because in Timeless we have some really, really busted lands. Ancient Tomb being one of them. It pings you for 2, and then you get to add 2 colorless mana, so then turn 1 you can go Chalice of the Void. Another really good land is Ugin's Labyrinth. You can imprint one of these big fat Eldrazi's that we have, mana value 7 or greater, and if you do that, you tuck that card underneath Ugin's Labyrinth, and then this one can also tap for 2 mana. So again, that's another way that you can cast Chalice of the Void on turn 1. Another really busted land that is available in Timeless is Strip Mine. You guys can read this one right here. It says sacrifice this land and then destroy any target land. That's really, really busted as well. Eldrazi Temple, another really nice one for us as well. It can add 2 mana. You can only use this to cast Eldrazi spells, so unfortunately that won't work with Chalice of the Void. But yeah, it's really getting these 2 cards down as early as possible. Kind of just wins you the game. And I have a video. I have already finished it. And I've just enjoyed playing this deck so much that I thought, hey, let's play it on stream as well. But guys, I am 27. Yeah, I'm 27 wins and 6 losses with this deck. And against people who are playing Daze and Force of Will, we honestly just shut them down so incredibly hard. I am absolutely crushing it with this deck. I think if you guys wanted to rank up, I would really recommend crafting this deck because you will absolutely destroy these people playing Daze and Force of Will, and everyone is playing with those two cards right now. So yeah, we're gonna jump into some games for this as well. So Horror Story, he used Strip Mine back in the day as well. Yeah, so super degenerate card as well. And I guess while we're still in the deck intro, I mean, Ancient Tomb into Eldrazi Temple and a Ugin Labyrinth. I mean, that's 6 mana right there, so it's actually not even that crazy that we're able to play Devourer of Destiny. That's a 7 mana card, Sire of 7 Deaths. This one is legal in Standard, so some of you guys who don't play Timeless, you might know this guy. He's we're able to get him down, and as well as Ugin, Eye of the Storms, another really good colorless creature card as well. So yeah, I've been enjoying this deck so much. I've been absolutely crushing it. It will be Monday's video as well, but I wanted to play it for you guys as well. So yeah, without further ado, we are going to switch over the camera and we'll put on some tunes, more upbeat tunes. And yeah, let's just jump right into it. Let's get some games going. Yeah, Sire of 7 Deaths is a great card. But yeah, I've been cooking up a lot of standard decks for you guys as well. I guess while we're here, I had the Loot Storm deck. That was Friday's video. This was a really, really fun one, trying to storm off with Prismari, the inspiration. And honestly, I mean, it's just so prominent in Standard right now. Resonating Loot is a problem of a card. Horror Story is playing Oculus Reanimator. That's awesome. Are you playing it with Ral Zarek? He's a great planeswalker for that one. But yeah, that was Friday's video. And yeah, as you guys can see, maybe we'll play a little bit of Fix What's Broken because I think I want that to be Friday's video. Wednesday's video, I have a crazy Landfall deck. That one's also finished and ready to go. But yeah, without further ado, let's jump into a few Timeless games. Yeah, I want to showcase this deck for you guys because yeah, we absolutely crush it. And you guys can just see how degenerate Timeless is then. So yeah, Horror Story, you built a crazy Fix What's Broken. I might play a little bit of it later today as well. All right, opponent gets to go first. That is unfortunate, but I mean, we have a Ancient Tomb that can tap to add 2, and then we can get down Vexing Bauble, and then the turn after that, we could get Chalice on 1. Could also just name Chalice on 1 right away, so then no one can cast any spells with mana value 1, so then unfortunately we wouldn't be able to play Vexing Bauble, so we'll maybe see what the opponent's working with. I also really like Devourer of Destiny because we got to look at the top 4 and put 1 card in our hand. And I mean, yeah, I'm 95% sure that this guy is playing with I need to think for 1 second, guys. We do have 4 mana, so I guess we take the 1 ring. I am 99% sure he is playing with those counter spells, so let's try and get a Vexing Bauble down. I guess we could have also gone Mind Stone into Vexing Bauble. Would have maybe been a better play, but I've been close. Oh, look, there it is, guys. First counter spell. Honestly, and there's Daze, another counter spell. Honestly, if they're spending their counter spells on that Vexing Bauble, it's not the worst thing in the world for us. So there is the Troll. It could be a Reanimator deck. And Reanimator, we're actually pretty bad against that deck. Okay, it's a Psychic Frog. It's not the worst thing in the world. We'll get down a Library. Flaring Fleshraker. Fleshraker is a pretty good one as well. I really don't want the opponent to reanimate, so we're going to go ahead and name Chalice on 1, so no one can cast any spells with mana value 1. And yeah, you see the opponent's tapped out. I guess it could be the Psychic Frog that is holding priority. And yeah, they're just going to get rid of all their cards with mana value 1. You see there's a Dark Ritual, another really busted card. All All right, we can get down Cavern of Souls. Eldrazi Temple's also a really nice one because then we will actually be able to cast Devourer of Destiny. So right now we can get down the Glaring Flesh Raker. We are taking quite a bit of damage from this Ancient Tomb. Opponent could have a kill spell. Potentially, it could also just be... I guess it's the Psychic Frog that's holding priority. We're going to go ahead and say no blocks right there. 2, 4, 6. So yeah, they drop off another Dark Ritual. We're down to 9. Ooh. Opponent might be able to finish us off next turn, potentially. Sire of 7 Deaths is really nice. 2, 4. I mean, yeah, we get this one down. And I guess we try and get down the Mind Stone. Opponent could counter it. We do get to create the Spawn token. This one can also tap to add some mana for us. I really don't want to take 2 damage from the Ancient Tombs, so I think we'll go ahead and say no attacks. We'll end the turn. Opponent cracks the Polluted Delta. They get to Surveil 1. 2, 4, 6. We do have 7 mana. Oh, they're going to gain Flying. And unfortunately, I think the opponent's going to get us because we have to take 2 damage from the Ancient Tomb. So the opponent's going to deal 7 damage to us. Well, maybe they don't. Oh, it doesn't look like it. Okay. All right. I think we're in the clear then, because we can drop down a Cavern of Souls. We'll name Eldrazi, and this one says when we cast this one, and opponent can't counter it because we have Cavern of Souls, then we get to exile a colored permanent. So we're down to 3. So our life total is getting pretty low, but Glaring Flesh Raker is going to start bopping the opponent for a little bit. And then, yeah, I guess we can start putting some pressure on the opponent. They might have a flash creature, potentially, but... I guess they could have an Orcish Bowmaster. Oh, they got the Brazen Borrower. Oh, that creature has Flying. Oh, the opponent got us. That one actually... Is there a way we can gain life? I don't think so. Oh, man, that one sucks, guys. Yeah, it took a little bit too much damage from the Ancient Tomb. It's a little bit unfortunate. I guess we could have maybe gotten the 1 ring down. I guess we could have also maybe played Sire of 7 Deaths. Not sure the opponent really has a good way of answering that one, so... Oh, that one's too bad. And yeah, Horror Story, I'm not sure which deck you're talking about. Is it a Fix What's Broken? I'll play with my Fix What's Broken deck later. Yeah. It does look like, honestly, a kind of cheesy card. It's honestly a little bit like Cavero, or Caverio. All right, we got to go first. We'll keep this one. We can get Ancient Tomb down. Now, I guess we get Ugin's Labyrinth. We'll go with the Devourer of Destiny, and again, opponent's playing blue. We have 1 Eldrazi Temple, so I guess we just take another Ancient Tomb. And then, yeah, Ugin's Labyrinth. We'll go ahead and imprint this Devourer of Destiny, and we'll get down 1 Vexing Bauble. And yeah, you guys see there's a stick right now. This guy has some free counter spells. I kind of hope he goes with a Force of Will, gets rid of a card. He chooses not to. We'll just drop down another one. We will just drop down another one. Opponent goes with a Flooded Strand. They have a Hollowed Fountain into a Thought Partition. What does that card say? It's a alchemy card. It's mana. Okay, so it costs 5 to play that one. That's okay. We'll have 5 mana next turn. Just a casual 5 mana on turn 3. You love to see it. We'll definitely get down Cavern of Souls. A Strip Mine is pretty brutal. Strip Mine is pretty brutal, but I mean, that's him playing a land for turn. And he has a Ponder. Yeah, if we could find our Chalice of the Void, name X equals 1, that will go pretty hard. So let's go ahead and crack this one. Draw a card. Ooh, Petrified Hamlet is actually also really, really nice. There's an Eldrazi Temple. We'll go with the Petrified Hamlet, and we will name Strip Mine for sure. So now if the opponent does play a Strip Mine, it can only tap to add colorless mana, so... Stoneforge Mystic, okay. They get to look for some equipment. That's actually pretty interesting. I actually haven't seen anyone play Stoneforge Mystic in a hot minute. And, oh man, that can actually exile up to 1 target creature. All right, so he's going to take our Glaring Fleshraker. That's pretty annoying. Chalice of the Void. You know what? We can't quite do X equals 3. I still think that, I think we'll do X equals 1 for this one. Oh, wait, and let's cancel that. No, we don't have quite enough mana. Yeah, we'll do X equals 1. We'll do X equals 1 right there. All right, and we have quite a bit of mana. We'll have 6 mana next turn. I guess if we play the Eldrazi Temple, we could have 7 mana. Ooh, Kozilek's Command is actually a great pickup. So we'll play the Eldrazi Temple, and we'll look to cast Kozilek's Command on their turn. Opponent goes with the Misty Rainforest. This is honestly a game that is lasting, honestly, quite a bit of time. Goes with another Stoneforge Mystic. All right, that's fine. Honestly, I might want to wait 1 turn. Well, I'm just worried he has a counter spell. All right, let's try this. 2, 4, 6. We can do this for 7 minus 2. I think we can do this for 5. So let's create some spawn tokens, and we'll scry 5. Opponent could definitely have a counterspell. No, they didn't. Emrakul is a little bit too expensive for my taste. Chalice of the Void. We could honestly deal quite a bit of damage with the Glaring Fleshraker. Oh, wait, we need to think about this. We have 5 tokens. They all tap for 1 mana. So that's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Honestly, we're closer to casting Emrakul than you guys might think. So let's do it like this. We'll draw into an Emmy. And it's our turn. We'll play the Glaring Fleshraker. Probably gets eaten up next turn by this piece of equipment, but that's okay. And then we can drop this one down. We'll go ahead and name Eldrazi, and then we can play this one. Glaring Fleshraker will create a spawn token for us. That's 6. Plus 6 is 12. 13, 14. We have 14 mana. I should have maybe scried those 2 away. That's my bad. But we're pretty close to just casting a Emrakul. Just a natural Emrakul. Ooh, wait, and this is 7. No, that's 6. Sorry. It is 6. Oh, but the Mind Stone does tap for 1 mana as well. So yeah, I should have maybe kept that Library of Alexandra on top. All right, they're going to search for a piece of equipment. Yeah, they just put that one on the battlefield. So yeah, they take our Glaring Fleshraker. That is unfortunate. It's just a Mind Stone underneath. Oh, I guess, well, then this one's not tapping for 2. But we will get the Glaring Fleshraker back. We can actually return our Devourer of Destiny back. All right, yeah, so a lot of things to navigate. 2, 4. They get to put another piece of equipment. The Living Weapon. Is that one colorless? Might be colorless. All right, that's fine. We'll take 5 damage. I think we'll be able to just cast a natural Emrakul, which is pretty funny. All right, so we will return this card back to our hand. Here comes Devourer of Destiny. We'll definitely take our Glaring Fleshraker back. Create... Oh, no, just ping them for 1. Might honestly want to wait next turn, do this for X equals 3, just so they can't play... X equals 1 could also be pretty important. 6, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. If we draw a land, which we know we're not, then we can cast the Emrakul. But when we do cast the Mind Stone, we'll have 15 mana. They have a Swords to Plowshare that just gets countered because of Chalice of the Void on X equals 1. So you love to see it. People always forget about this one, especially when games drag out like this. I'll be honest, guys, timeless games normally do not last this long. Yeah, you see, this opponent's not too happy about this. Opponent is not too happy about this one. They have a Nadu, so it's a Nadu deck. Interesting. Honestly, I have not seen a Nadu deck in... Can't remember how long. Opponent punches in. That's okay. We got a free block right there. Don't know if they have a way of pumping that one up. Doesn't look like it. Oh, they get to exile that creature, though. That is pretty nasty. All right. I still think we'll be okay, though, because we have a Mind Stone. Create that spawn token. And then, honestly, I think we can do this for X equals 2. Yeah, and we don't need to take any damage from the Ancient Tomb. Create another one of those. I just hope that Nadu can't finish us off in 1 turn. I do know that he has some really busted abilities. Dude, this might be 2 losses in a row, which would be absolutely heartbreaking. Because, like I said, when I started this recording, I filmed 8 games in a row. That one gets countered. Again, X equals 2. You love to see it. All right, that one's attacking, and Nadu is also attacking. So we're going down to 6. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. All right, yeah, we can block with our... oh, no, I did not mean to sack that guy. At least not sack him like that. He's just going to throw his body in the way. Oh my gosh, that guy has trample. I'm such a idiot, guys. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. We need to draw a land. Oh, we did. Okay. Didn't get punished. We can name Eldrazi. Oh, but wait. Why did we take 2 damage? Oh my gosh. It tapped our Ancient Tomb when we still had 2 spawn tokens left. I think we should win this game, guys. Oh my goodness. I have no idea why it tapped the Ancient Tomb when we were at 2 life. Because you guys see we have 2 spawn tokens left. Or, wait, did we have to tap that? How many spawn tokens did we have? Oh, whatever. That one, yeah. Mistakes were definitely made right there. Mistakes were made in that game. Oh, that one's terrible. Even though we did see the Chalice put in a lot of work. All right, opponent gets to go first. We do have Vexing Bauble. An opponent is a Flooded Strand gamer. I think we'll get the Petrified Hamlet on turn 1. Oh, they go with the Hydroponic Architect. Yeah, this one is so annoying. All right, well, we'll go with the Hamlet. We are going to name Strip Mine. I can't spell. Sorry. Strip Mine. And then we'll get Vexing Bauble down. So no free spells for the opponent. And then I think we will look to get the Glaring Fleshraker down. Yeah, see, he does have Strip Mine. Corey's Steel Cutter is a pretty brutal one as well. Kozilek's Command can exile things, so that's pretty nice. Man, our Ancient Tomb is just absolutely wailing on us. Thought-Knot Seer will be pretty nice. Yeah, I don't know if we actually had to sack those 2 Eldrazi spawn tokens or not. I don't know if we would have had 2 of them left over, but I think I counted it where I would not have to tap the Ancient Tomb, so I do feel like the auto tapper kind of screwed us there. Opponent shocks in a Vent. Yeah, for a Lightning or a Lightning Bolt. And we have our own Strip Mine. We'll just get the Labyrinth down. No card to exile, and we'll go with the Thought-Knot Seer. Again, do have to take 2 damage from the Tomb, which is pretty brutal. And I mean, that's an easy get that Corey Steel Cutter out of here. They go with an Island. They probably go with a Ponder. They get the Prowess up, and they do get to draw a card off that. Oh. They have a Ragavan. All right, well, they're all tapped out, even though, I mean, yeah, they're just dealing a ton of damage to us, man. This is really not a good showing of this deck, guys. All right, Ugin is actually really nice. Is that 7 mana? It's not quite 7. I think we'll go with a Kozilek's Command. Exile one of their creatures. Have to block with the Thought-Knot Seer. They have a Brainstorm. They get to draw a bunch of cards. Honestly, let's just do this right now. We can do this for... I think we can do this for... Do this for 3? But we do take 2 damage there, which is quite a bit. I guess the opponent could just have a counter spell. They have a Daze, and they actually have the mana to pay for it. Oh my gosh, guys, this... Dude, I promise you guys, this deck, I have been absolutely crushing it lately. I guess I should have maybe waited for them to play a spell. That's my bad. Yeah, we're gonna have to switch to standard. Oh man, that was... I feel like this happens more often than not, though. Where we have a fun deck to go with, and then I can never get any wins with it. Even though this one, I know we can. One lander, unfortunately, we can't keep that one. And I mean, I don't want to take 2 mulligans, even though this one isn't looking like the best either. We'll get rid of Sire. The Devourer. Vexing Bauble. Yeah, you know what? Let's take the Vexing Bauble. And then we'll get down Strip Mine. Maybe keep the opponent honest. See what they want to play on turn 1. It's just a Watery Grave into this stupid creature. Everyone is asking that this creature gets banned in Timeless, and I kind of agree. Has such a busted ability. We'll go with the Mind Stone, though. And yeah, you guys see there is a stick right now, so he has a counter spell. It might be a Daze where he bounces that one back to his hand, but he chooses not to use it. So let's go with the Vexing Bauble. This one probably does get them to respond. They go either with Daze or, yeah, Force of Will. There it is. They do get rid of a Tameo, which is pretty nice. And yeah, they just punch in with the Architect. So yeah, this is, for those of you guys that don't know, this is a Alchemy card. They had another Tameo in their hand. But yeah, Polluted Delta, they can fetch whatever land. They made a basic land with this one, and then when it enters the battlefield, they get to draw a card off of it. And then yeah, they can just play a Ponder. And they just get to transform Tameo right away. Man, we are getting absolutely diced up, guys. And they even have a Grief on top of it. Yeah, so Vexing Bauble, I'm pretty sure would counter the Grief as well. So yeah, they take the Glaring Fleshraker. Maybe they take the One Ring, though. I do think the opponent's running dry a little bit. They do take the One Ring. I think that is the smart choice. Honestly, I'm going to go with this for X equals 1. I'm kind of tired of them playing all these 1-mana spells like Ponder and Tameo. Alright, yeah, so they just punch in with the Architect. That's fine. They drop a Flooded Strand. And this one is whenever this creature attacks. Dude, this card is so busted. Because, yeah, now they can just sack the Flooded Strand, find whatever land they made a basic island, and then that will just draw them a card. You guys can see the bottom line. When this land enters, draw a card. So they're going to fetch for the land that they randomly made. It draws a card. Yeah, they're just going to plus up with Tameo. That's fine. We'll get the Glaring Fleshraker down. Never mind, they just return Force of Will. So they have a free counter spell. Strip Mine is pretty nice. But at the same time, yeah, it doesn't really do much for us. Let's get this counter spell out of their hand. And there it is. Force of Will. Honestly, I'm just going to Strip Mine them. Sack this land. We'll take them down a land. Oh, that was a Misty Rainforest. I thought that was just a normal land that they had. Guys, I'm playing so bad. I'm pretty embarrassed, to be honest. Alright, at least they're not dealing a ton of damage to us. They have their own Strip Mine. They get rid of our Strip Mine, so we're down to 1. And they have another Grief to take the last card in our hand. Alright, and we can't even do this for X equals 2. Oh my god, we got absolutely diced up that game. And we are... Is that 0-4? This is a terrible showing. Well, now I know never to play Timeless with you guys. You cursed me. Horror Story cursed me. That's just what it is. Whenever Horror Story is here, I cannot buy a win if I tried to. But it's all good. We'll forge ahead. I know I know this deck has what it takes because, like I said, I am 20, or I was 27-6. That's 5 losses in a row. So, man, we're 26-11 with it now. All right, we get to go first. Again, we're going to try it because this is the best opening hand you can have, is trying to get a Vexing Bauble on turn 1 just to stop those free counter spells. So, yeah, here comes a Vexing Bauble. All right, an opponent doesn't have anything, so I think we're sitting pretty, guys. Yeah, Misty Rainforest, that's fine. We're going to have Chalice of the Void come down, name X equals 1, so then they can't play any 1-mana spells. Even though Overgrown Tomb is a little bit of an interesting one. You know what? We'll get Mind Stone down. And we'll keep open Strip Mine. Might have to Strip Mine the opponent. This guy could be playing with, I was going to say, he could be playing with Channel. Alright, we're going to Strip Mine him. We'll get rid of their Overgrown Tomb. They have a crop rotation, so they get to sack that land, find another one. So that kind of null and voids. Strip Mine actually came out worse for us because we lose a land. They actually get a land. MTG Hillbillies here. Welcome, welcome. We're playing some Timeless. And they got the Disruptor Flute. They bin that one. Honestly, this does turn off our Kozilek's command. But I am... Oh, no, not that one. Yeah, we'll go with the land. I am going to name this on X equals 2, just because I'm a little bit worried that they might have a channel. And I do realize we're not able to play these 2 cards anymore, but we can at least get the 1 ring down, and then we can start drawing some cards. They could also have a Boseiju and blow up one of these cards. Ooh, they have a Dark Depths. That's interesting. So they're going to remove all the counters off that one. All right, so we'll keep Strip Mine available, and let's just go with a 1 ring. We'll go with a 1 ring, and we'll look to draw some cards. A Cavern of Souls. Thespian Stage. All right, so we need to draw... What do we need to draw, actually? Can they do this in response? I don't think they can. All right, we're going to sack this one. We're going to blow up their Thespian Stage. I think we still blow it up, though. So, yeah, they're trying to turn their thing into a 2020... Yeah, like creature. Ooh, I was going to say, we really need to find... Yikes, guys. We actually can't play any of these cards, which is pretty rough because all these have mana value too, I'm pretty sure. The X cost doesn't matter for Chalice of the Void. This is a 2-mana spell. All right, they have a Field of the Dead. So they're playing with the Titan. What's that one Titan called? I don't think we need to sack that one just yet. Yeah, they're playing with this one Titan. Opponent scooped it up. Not 100% sure why. I was honestly getting a little bit close. I was getting a little bit nervous. But that's our first win. That is our first win. And it's only up from there. I'm telling you guys. Telling you guys, it's only up from here. Hillbilly, how are you doing? Welcome, welcome. Thanks for joining me. Hope you're enjoying the new Secrets of Strixhaven. It's a very, very Izzet heavy, or Prismari heavy, however you want to call that blue-red. Just call it blue-red heavy. I have seen so much blue-red played lately. Glad to hear you're doing well. Yo, we got Oscar in here. Welcome, Oscar. Hope you're doing well. We keep this one, guys. That's 2 for Hamlet is pretty nice. These 2 cards aren't really that playable. I will keep it, though, because hopefully the Devourer of Destiny can find something good for us. Opponent is ripping a few mulligans. So let's go ahead and submit that one. I guess we take the 1 ring. And then let's get down the library. Opponent's playing with Strip Mine. That's fine. I mean, they lose a land for turn. And we have a bunch of other lands in our hand, so that's fine. And then, yeah, you know what I'm going to do with the Hamlet? I know we play with Strip Mine of our own, but we'll just go ahead and name Strip Mine. There are a few Strip Mine loops where people try and just win with Strip Mine. And yeah, Petrified Hamlet, that just shuts that down. Opponent goes with the Scalding Tarn. Opponent's got the Hollowed Fountain into a Soul Guide. Oh, that only adds 3 mana for us. That's unfortunate. So yeah, I guess we can go with the Eldrazi Temple and then go with the Mind Stone. And then next turn, we can go Ugin's Labyrinth. We can tuck Ulamog, and we can play the 1 ring. Opponent could, of course, have a counterspell. I mean, they are in the colors for it, which is interesting. Normally, Soul Guide Lantern is a Boros deck. They do go with a Brainstorm. Oh, we found an Ugin, which is really nice. So, yeah, we'll try it. Again, I don't think it resolves. Opponent probably has a counterspell, but we'll try and get down the 1 ring. Is a really, really good card because it is the 1 ring to rule them all. Oh, and it did land. That's kind of crazy. I'm glad the opponent let us have it. And then, yeah, we'll just instantly start drawing cards. Found our own Strip Mine, which is turned off by the Petrified Hamlet, but at least it's a land that we're hitting. And then we will actually have 7 mana to play the Devourer of Destiny. Eldrazi Temple does not add 2 mana for Ugin Eye of Storms. Opponent's attacking in, but the 1 ring gives us protection for a turn, which is really nice. Another Ugin's Labyrinth. That goes hard. Yeah, we're just going to go with Cavern of Souls. We'll name Eldrazi, and then we can play the Devourer of Destiny. And then exile their only colored permanent they have. They can't counter this one. And yeah, opponent scoops it up. And I guarantee you guys, they were playing with Force of Will, Daze, anything like that. But there, yeah, Cavern of Souls got it done for us. So, like I said, the previous game was a win. This is win number 2. Yeah, welcome everyone. Oscar, what new cards have you been playing with? Hillbilly, what new cards have you been playing with? Horror Story said he's trying out a Fix What's Broken deck, and I actually will play that one for you guys later. I want to get a few more Timeless games, just because I have really been enjoying this deck. And like I said, I already have the video ready to go. But yeah, I've just been enjoying it so much. I was like, I want to play it on stream for you guys. I want to showcase Timeless. For those of you guys that don't know Timeless, absolutely busted format. You can maybe even just see from the cards that I have, from the cards the opponent has. Strip Mine is pretty busted. That Hydroponic Architect, I hope the Wizards ban that one. You know what, we can keep this one again just because Devourer of Destiny basically gets to let us look at the top 4. And Thought Knot Seer is pretty nice. Hillbilly's been playing with all the cards. That's awesome. And then, honestly, with Petrified Hamlet, we are just instantly going to name Strip Mine. Don't want the opponent strip mining us. And we'll go with a Vexing Bauble. So no free spells for the opponent. There was no stick whatsoever, so they at least don't have one of those spells in their hand. And Chrome Mox cost 0 mana to cast it, so Vexing Bauble. Bahap, get him out of here. Nah, opponent. All right, guys, that's three in a row. I'm telling you, this deck, I know it has what it takes. Oscar's been playing blue-red lately, or mostly. Standard is definitely blue-red heavy. Definitely blue-red heavy. Can't blame you, though. I played a Storm deck for Friday's video. If you guys haven't checked that out, go check it out. It was a really, really fun deck. We played with the new Elder Dragon, Prismari, the Inspiration. Was honestly a ton of fun to play with. And yeah, Horror Story says he's been getting into Leave the Graveyard style deck. So, I mean, are you looking for like Reanimator? Like Zombify? I know that there's this new card as well. It's not the Emeritus of Woe, because that one gives you Demonic Tutor, but there is another card. He doesn't enter prepared. He's a Warlock. I think he costs 3 mana, and you need 3 permanents in your graveyard, and then you get a Reanimate, which people play in Timeless. That is a 1 mana spell. Are you going with a Boros Leave the Graveyard deck? Okay. I guess there is a new Boros creature as well, right? It's like this flying bird. Lorehold. Nah, you're good. All right, I think we keep this, guys. We don't have any of our counter spells like Vexing Bauble or the... Oh, well, there is Vexing Bauble, which is really nice. So we'll go with a Ugin's Labyrinth. We will tuck Sire of 7 Deaths. We will drop down a Mind Stone. And then we'll drop down a Vexing Bauble. So no free spells for the opponent, even though I don't think this deck really plays with it too much. We would have 2 mana if we do it like this. We'll go with the Glaring Fleshraker. Opponent could have a Burst Lightning, or not a Burst Lightning, a Lightning Bolt. But yeah, we can get the Mind Stone down. We create the Spawn token. Pings the opponent for 1. Mind Stone taps for some mana as well. And we can just end the turn. 2, 4, 6. Yeah, so we'll have 7 mana next turn. It'll be our turn 3. I think, did the opponent get to go first? They're turning that creature into a ape. That is interesting. That's an easy no blocks from us. And then a Devourer of Destiny. Yeah, see, look, guys, we have 7 mana. We wouldn't be able to exile anything from them, so... but, you know what? Let's just de-ramp them a little bit. We don't need this land becoming a ape turn after turn. And then we still have enough mana to get down the 1 ring. Ping the opponent for 1, create a Spawn token, and then just start drawing some cards and just start beating down the opponent. And yeah, I really don't think they're playing with any of the free counter spells. So I think we're honestly free to crack the Vexing Bauble. Oh, and now we do have protection from everything thanks to the 1 ring, so we didn't take any damage off the Ancient Tomb. Oh, and we found another Glaring Fleshraker. That was a great pickup. The 1 ring is going to ping us down. Chalice of the Void is really, really nice. Even though, what mana value is the opponent playing with, guys? Nobody knows. I'll be honest, I'm a little tiny bit worried that they have a 2 mana. It could be Tybalt's Trickery. It could also be a Channel. I absolutely love Channel, so yeah, we'll go ahead and name this for X equals 2. Did have to use one of our Spawn tokens, but we're casting a colorless spell, so both these Fleshrakers create a Spawn token, and then, yeah, keep pinging the opponent down, so... I don't want to say GG too early, but I think this might be win number 4 in a row. Oh, definitely didn't have to attack with this guy. Definitely should not have attacked with that guy, because I noticed that we have not drawn any cards with our 1 ring. So let's go ahead and put a charge counter on it, and then draw 2 cards. We found another Strip Mine. So yeah, we'll keep the opponent honest right now. If they play any busted lands, we'll go ahead and Strip Mine it. And yeah, like I said, that is win numero 4. All right, we'll maybe look to get one more, and then we'll maybe switch over to standard. I'll show you guys the Fix What's Broken deck. I think I have a more meme version of it. Definitely a more memey version of it. Have you guys tried any of the other Elder Dragons? Hillbilly or Horror Story? Nah, I was joking, Horror Story. And honestly, I think we should have won that one game where we cast Emrakul, because I did count it out and we had 15 mana. I have no idea why it just did not, or why it used the Ancient Tomb. That was kind of ridiculous, but I think that one should have been a win for us. Lightstall Inquisitor, that's okay. I think we can make the Glaring Fleshraker cost 4 mana. Strip Mine is pretty nice. I mean, we are actually going to take quite a bit of a beating from the opponent. We're up against Pizza Dog, hilarious name. They have a Most Helpful Weaver. So this opponent is playing a standard deck. They literally brought a standard deck to Timeless. And you know what's funny, guys? We might actually lose. If they have a Sheltered by Ghosts, 2, 4, 5. If they have a Sheltered by Ghosts, which this deck always have it, I think well, no, we can exile that one. All right, it's not over. They have a Seam Rip as well. Guys, we're getting diced up by a Timeless deck. You have to be kidding me. That is too funny. Yikes, we're down to 8. Ancient Tomb is just going to keep beating us down. We'll name Eldrazi there. 2 as 1 mana. All right, we're still taking 2 damage, which is pretty rough. I kind of hope they put the counters on the Lightstall Inquisitor. But they're smart, and they put it on that token right there. They could even have a... What's that one protection spell called? Spellbook Fender. It's 1 mana. Oh, are they going to pay the 1? I hope they do. I hope they tap out. They do. All right. So we're taking 2 damage. Oh, wait. We actually can't pay for the ward 2. But we can block that creature then. All right. X. No, we don't need to scry. We need that one. And then we'll get rid of the Weaver. Oh, I guess I could have done it for X equals 3. That's my bad. Yeah, we actually have to block this creature. I cannot believe we're getting diced up by a Aura deck in Timeless. That is actually really funny. We do have enough for the Devourer of Destiny, but we would be all tapped out. And we are taking 2. All right, guys, I think we have to do it like this. I think we have to just hope that they do not have another Sheltered by Ghosts. Because if they do, then they got us, which is absolutely crazy. I guess they could have an... Nah, well, we can block. As long as they don't have a Sheltered by Ghosts, I think we're okay. But they are hovering over it. Dude, that is actually wild. 10 cards deep, and they found 2 Sheltered by Ghosts. That one is crazy. That opponent's probably just trying to do his... What's that one challenge? You literally get the title that I get, where you get Timeless Witness. And I mean, that Aura deck is pretty good. Honestly, that Aura deck, it's maybe not crazy to play in Timeless. And yeah, I'm telling you, they literally... That was the... I think the only card that won it for them was another Sheltered by Ghosts, and they had 2 of them. They always have that card. I hate Sheltered by Ghosts. Hey. All right, I think we'll switch over to Standard after this one. These Timeless games have been rough. Honestly, hasn't been the best showing, which is really unfortunate because Monday's video is just this deck again, and we absolutely crushed it. I went on an 8-game win streak. All right, opponent gets to go first, but again, we can keep this one, submit this one. Misty Rainforest, I guarantee you guys, they are playing with Daze and Force of Will. They probably play the Hydroponic. No, they go with Storm Chaser's Talent. Is this another standard deck? That would be really funny. I will take Cavern of Souls. I will take Cavern of Souls, and then we'll go with Ugin's Labyrinth. We'll go ahead and tuck a Emrakul underneath, and we'll go with the Vexing Bauble, and there is a stick from the opponent, so they have a free counter spell. It could be Daze, and it could be Force of Will. Could be either or, but they let it slide. Okay, so no free spells for the opponent. And then we can get the Flesh Raker down, and then we can get the Thought Knot Seer down. Opponent probably goes with the Brainstorm. They go with the Boomerang Basics. This is another standard deck. Dude, if we lose to 2 standard decks in a row, I will take this title off, guys. I'm the Timeless Witness. I will take that off. 4 mana is actually really nice. And again, I will get pinged for 2, but yeah, I think it's worth it. Thought Knot Seer. Yeah, see, I told you guys. Force of Negation. There it is. And we'll take their Dismember away. All right, so it's not strictly a standard player. So if we lose, you know, it's not a full standard deck. There it is, Force of Negation. I do wonder if they are a little bit of a beginner deck. I do wonder if they're a little bit of a beginner deck. They found a Dismember. I mean, you know, that is always how it goes. You make them discard a card, and they literally then draw that card. Oh, we're down to 9. There is Sire, 2/4. This is 5. We'll name Eldrazi. Do we get to create the token? I'm not 100% sure. 2/4. We need to play one more spell, and then we can get down Sire of 7 Deaths, and I think we win then. They go with a Ponder. I think we're gonna lose again. This is insane. Honestly, I might crack the Vexing Bauble. They, of course, just go with another Storm Chaser's Talent. These stupid Otters are gonna just beat us down. And I mean, yeah, we're just forced to block. Oh, wait, no, I should not have done that because we take 2 damage from that, so... Two, 4, 5. We only have 5 mana. Hopefully we can find either Ugin's Labyrinth, Ancient Tomb, or Eldrazi Temple. Oh, let's absolutely go. What a insanely clutch draw. What an insanely clutch draw. Opponent can't counter this one. Sire of 7 Deaths. I mean, we do know that they play with Boomerang Basics, so I mean, I guess they could have a Boomerang Basics, pay 7 life to bounce this one. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back. Screw timeless, dumb format that no one plays anyway. We are looking at standard, and we're going with a fix what's broken deck. Pay X life, and then you can return every creature and artifact. Oh, big moves right there. But yeah, you can return those from the graveyard to the battlefield. So we just need to mill a ton of cards, all the cards that we want to pull back. I'm going with a meme version of this deck. I know people are playing a pretty serious version of Fix What's Broken. So yeah, we're trying to get all of these 8 mana creatures in the graveyard. Wall of Basing says all of our other permanents have indestructible, which is really nice. Absolute Virtue says we have protection from each of our opponents, which is really nice. Excuse me, guys. You guys know Galta put any cards in your all creature cards in your hand onto the battlefield. Arden can reanimate another creature from the graveyard. Zatalpa has indestructible himself, flying, vigilance, double strike, and trample, which is really nice. And finally, I have summon Knights of Round for 8 mana. This guy also has indestructible, and he creates a bunch of 2/2s for us turn after turn. We are going with a few 7 mana creatures. One of them is Herald of Eternal Dawn. This one says that the opponent can't win the game and we can't lose the game, which is really, really nice. And finally, Curious Colossus, also for 7 mana, says that all of our opponents, all of their creatures are just tiny little weenie 1/1 creatures. So, yeah, it's obviously how Fix What's Broken works. If you guys read it, it says return each creature card with mana value equal to X. So when we say X equals 8, we're not pulling back Curious Colossus or Herald of Dawn. It really is all of these creatures that are 8 mana. And honestly, that is a really, really steep cost. You are paying X life. So we're taking, 8 life off of our 20 life total. So we're going down to 12. And that's even if we survive until turn 4 with how aggressive standard is. So that is why I went with a little bit of removal with Bitter Triumph and Quag Feast. Quag Feast, you get to mill some cards. So obviously you hope to mill some of these creature cards. And then you get to destroy a creature that the opponent controls. And we can see it says destroy a creature if its mana value is less than or equal to the number of cards in our graveyard. So, this one mills 2 cards right away. Then you can destroy a creature with mana value 2 or less. So Badger Wool Cub, it is a pretty good one to hit. And then finally, for our last little bit of removal, we're going with Split Up. That one is just a board wipe. It can kind of be a panic button if need be. And then other mill cards we have are the Iron Shield Elf for 2 mana. This one is a body, and what's really nice is he can discard a card. So if one of these 8 mana creatures is in our hand, even if Herald of Eternal Dawn or the Curious Colossus is in our hand, the Iron Shield Elf can drop those off into the graveyard, which is where we want them. So that is really, really nice. And then he gets indestructible until the end of the turn. So then he can block, which is nice. That's another great way of saving your life total. And then finally, another really great mill card is the Town Greeter for 2 mana. You get this guy down. He's a 1/1 body that you are just happy to block with. And then when this guy enters, you mill 4 cards, which is a lot. And then you get to return a land back to your hand, which is really nice. And finally, I really like Collector's Vault as well for decks like this where you're trying to get creatures in the graveyard, because Collector's Vault, maybe we'll even go up a copy of Collector's Vault. But yeah, you get to draw a card, which is really nice because it helps you look for your answer. And then you get to discard a card. So again, having any of these in our hand, those are great discard fodder. And then it also creates a treasure token, which helps you ramp, provides the color fixing that you might need. Just because we are a 3-color deck, we're playing green for the Town Greeter, and then one final card as well that we're playing green for. I'll get back to it in a second. But another nice thing is the treasure token is an artifact, which we can sack with Beseech the Mirror. We can bargain it away for 4 mana. You may sacrifice an artifact or enchantment. So yeah, we can sacrifice Collector's Vault, or if we have enough treasure tokens, we can just sack one of the treasure tokens itself. And then you can search for a card and then cast it right away, which is really nice. And the one that you probably want to cast right away is Fix What's Broken. You get to cast it right away, pay 8 life, and then pull all of these creatures back. One other creature who I missed out on, they always put these overlords in the more expensive slot. This guy, we're always getting him down for just 2 mana. You impend him for 2, and then he enters, you mill 4 cards. And you do get to return a non-avatar creature card, but again, we keep all these guys in the graveyard, I guess with the exception of Town Greeter, or I guess the Iron Shield Elf. I guess those 2 creatures you would pull back. But yeah, we have 3 copies of Fix What's Broken, 2 copies of Beseech the Mirror, so essentially that's 5 copies of Fix What's Broken, which I think is enough for this deck. And then finally, the last little bit of green that we're splashing in this deck is for 2 copies of Parination. I absolutely love this reanimation card. It's the Abzan color, so you do need the green for it. You get to return we'll just call it a creature from our graveyard to the battlefield, and it comes back with a hexproof and a indestructible counter on it. So then your creature is really, really hard to remove. If you get Absolute Virtue, I think you basically win the game because you have protection from each of your opponents, so they can't damage you down with their creatures, which is really, really nice. Of course, Herald of Eternal Dawn says that we can't lose the game and the opponent can't win the game. So yeah, if she has Hexproof and Indestructible, then a board wipe won't clear her. A targeted kill spell can't target her. Then really the only way to answer a effect with like Parination is you need to have a forced sacrifice card. And then another card that actually gets around this that's really, really annoying and is kind of popular is Nowhere to Run. That one, of course, gives a creature -3/-3, and it says that Ward and Hexproof don't trigger. I still think we have the Indestructible from it then, but yeah, this is the version that I've cooked up. I've only played 1 or 2 games with it. I haven't played too many, and I think it did all right. So yeah, let's just jump into some games and see how it does. We're definitely not playing Timeless anymore. I got absolutely scammed out of quite a few games. I'm pretty upset about that, but yeah, we'll play some Standard for a little bit. So let's switch over to there. And let's put the tunes on. All right, we gotta go first, and we have Fix What's Broken. I guess I didn't even mention this guy, the Armagon Shark, also a really, really fun one to bring back. So, all right, and we will have all of our colors. Godless Shrine provides the white. Blooming Marsh is both black and blue. Black and blue. Black and green. I think the opponent might be a Badgermole Cub deck, guys. So, honestly, I think we just go with Quag Feast. Go ahead and get rid of that Elf. Mill 2 cards. Collector's Vault is a pretty rough one to mill, but it's okay. And it is Badgermole Cub. So yeah, we can definitely go with Bitter Triumph. And discard a card. Get rid of that Badgermole Cub. Get rid of the Armagon. The Future Shark. They have another Land War Elf. And we do hit the land. This might be crazy, guys. We're just going to do this right away. For X equals 8, we're pulling back just 1 creature card, which is definitely not how we want this deck to work. But we get to blow up your land and your little elf. Of course, the land does get to come back. Yeah, now we just have a 9-powered creature just barreling down the opponent just turn after turn, even though we are down to 9 life ourselves, and they are a Smuggler Surprise deck. Playing Ralph and Mikey. Absolutely disgusting. Oh, and we did find a Parination. Let's absolutely go. So let's get the Overlord down. All right. We missed out on the Beseech the Mirror. That's a little bit rough. And they do get the Badgermole Cub down. They do get to promote a land. And they just go with the Transdimensional Bovine. That's fine. We can get Godless Shrine down. And honestly, I think we just punch in. Opponent does take all that damage. That's kind of crazy. Do they just finish us off, though? Ralph Mikey does have Trample and Haste. I mean, if the opponents got it, they got it. Oh, no, wait. We can go with Curious Colossus, right? Yeah, let's do this for X equals 7. Wait, but then we're just dead, right? Because we go down to 2 life. Do we have anything else in the graveyard? Yeah, then they would have 3 creatures that could attack us, and we have 2 HP. So, yeah, I actually don't think we can afford to do Fix What's Broken anymore. So that's another real downside of this card. And I think of this deck that I'm playing with, they're playing their own Armagon. That is honestly really funny. We do have a Bitter Triumph. I mean, there's nothing that we really want to drop off, but I think we'll have to. I think the opponent just got us. It's kind of crazy. But cool that they're playing with the Armagon. Taking 3 damage. We're taking no damage. All right, that's pretty nice. 3, 4, 5. We're still 2 turns away from playing Parination. And even if we do have Parination, we don't really have the best creature to pull back. We would need like a Herald of Eternal Dawn or something like that. So yeah, maybe this version, I mean, I'll stick with it for sure. They have a Valgavoth, yikes, that they can just play naturally, and we don't even have enough to play Arden, so that's unfortunate. Opponent with the good old Badgermole Cub. I guess I mean, yeah, we're playing with green, and we're playing with some pretty expensive cards, so you could always say, yeah, you could play Badgermole Cub. It's just I have quite a few Badgermole in a few of the videos coming up for you guys, so I don't want to spam Badgermole Cub. I know you definitely could. I know you definitely could. I know you definitely could. But yeah, Horror Story, you said you also had a Fix What's Broken deck. Alright, we do have the Collector's Vault, which is really nice. An opponent doesn't go with anything too crazy on turn 1. I think we will have a Split Up available. Airbender's Ascension. That can actually... Well, if we get Parination down, then they actually can't. Because we'll have Hexproof, which is really nice. Only thing we have to worry about is a counter spell. The Evangelist. Ooh, there is the Herald of Eternal Dawn, which is really nice. I think we wait for 1 turn. We'll crack the Collector's Vault on the opponent's turn. Opponent's going to absolutely smack us. They got the Lookout. Ooh, found another Split Up. I think we drop off Herald and just hope that they don't have any graveyard hate. Oh, we found a Wall of Basing Say. That's also interesting. But yeah, you guys can see here's the problem already, is even if we had a Fix What's Broken, we don't have too many creatures in the graveyard, and our life total is honestly pretty low already. Destroy all tapped creatures, for sure. Even though they do get to make a Bat token, so now their Airbender's Ascension is fully unlocked. 2, 4, 5. Well, we are pretty close to being able to cast a Parination. And I kind of hope we can hit a land. Ooh, Anti-Casual Vistage. They can just bounce this guy. He's going to leave the battlefield. So that's some really cool tech from the opponent. But we're not dead. They get to bounce that one again. Man, opponent's absolutely popping off. Another Overlord. I was really hoping to draw a land deck, please. All right, we do draw the land. We can drop off... I guess we drop off 1 Overlord. And then we go with a split up. Oh, we can destroy all tapped creatures. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. If we draw a land, we can actually play Ghalta. We can actually play a Ghalta. I just hope the opponent doesn't have any counter spells. I go with Formidable Speaker. They get rid of a Helpful Hunter, so they have just one card in hand. They do get a search for a creature card right now. I highly doubt that that is a counter spell. Oh, never mind. Oh my gosh, guys. Why is it so hard to play Standard sometimes? Can we get Overlord down? I mean, we can get Overlord down then. 2, 4. We do have to burn all of our treasure tokens to do that, though. Well, okay. Opponent doesn't do anything. Or, I mean... of course, they have Aurora Awakener. 2, 4, 5. Yeah, there's no way we win. Oh my gosh, they had to be playing with Aang, man. Oh, that would have been such a nice win if we could have pulled it off with Paranation. Opponent had a cool deck, though. Flickering that anti-casual, that's a nice combo. Yeah, they're too aggressive. Honestly... Yeah, Horror Story. I might need to check out Creative Combo. Even though, yeah, I don't want to just copy someone else's deck. I do like adding my own flavor to things. And you guys know me. I like to meme a little bit. But, I mean, yeah, it is honestly... Mana value 7 and 8 is just such a steep price to pay. So, maybe it's not worth it. But, you know, we keep grinding. We'll get this one down. And then we do get the Town Greeter. No, you know what? We'll get the Elf down. And then we can just always block right now, which is nice. That's fine. And opponent doesn't punch in. We can go ahead. No, you know what? We don't need to drop off a card. Then we'll go with the Town Greeter. A bunch of lands. That's pretty rough. I think we have enough green sources. So yeah, we'll get down a Godless Shrine. And then next turn, I think we'll look to remove this Hope Singer. I've been wanting to brew a deck with this guy as well. So let's see what the opponent cooks up. This does look like a really good creature, actually. Just hope they're not playing with any protection spells. We got the Charm. Put a bunch of counters on that one. That's fine. Oh, they do create flying tokens. All right, that's an easy block right there. One block. And then we will drop off a Absolute Virtue. So our guy becomes indestructible. Then it's our turn. On to Quag Feast, which is really nice. Let's go with that one. Honestly, on this Hope Singer. Then they might have a protection spell. There is a stick, so the opponent has something. Opponent has something. They're just looking to put counters on those creatures. Alright, that's okay. Oh, we milled the Paranation. That's actually really bad. All right, no attacks from us, and the turn. We have a Bitter Triumph available, so we'll be able to remove this Inkling. Honestly, we might have to remove this guy as well. And we'll be taking 2 damage in the air. More if the opponent has some targeted spells. Oh, I actually have to get off after this game, most likely, guys. What does this one say? It gives a creature -1. Alright, well, then I think we discard a card. We get rid of this guy, and then we drop off the Curious Colossus. Even though they do get to create another bird, they put a +1 there. And I mean, yeah, we're taking 8 damage. So we're down to 9, so we can't even really beseech the mirror. Yeah, we just lose. Oh my gosh, yeah, I might need to revisit this list. Might need to include some more kill spells, which is unfortunate. Alright, I'll try and get one more before I head out. You know, I like to try and end it on a win. I don't see the list that you posted, Horror Story. I don't see the one that you went with. Alright, we'll keep this hand. We can get the Overgrown Tomb on turn 1. Honestly, we might need some more cheap kill spells, like some Requiem Hexes and stuff like that. Town Greeter. So they do play with 4 Zombifies. Well, that's unfortunate. We'll definitely drop off our Galta. And then we do lose that creature, which is unfortunate. Ooh, we did find Fix What's Broken, though. All right, guys. Oh, and we mill the land. Let's go. This could be a turn 4 Fix What's Broken for 8 mana, pull back Galta, and then we can put all these creatures on the battlefield. And I mean, the opponent's playing with a ton of kill spells, so I don't expect them to live. Unfortunately, we missed. But hopefully the Overlord can mill. He milled some more power. Let's go. And then we can pull back the Town Greeter. That one can find some mana for us next turn if we miss the land drop. Which we did. So that's unfortunate. But yeah, we go with Town Greeter. And we pull back a Verge. And then we can actually get down the Overlord. So next turn is going to be a really nice Fix What's Broken. Didn't mill any creatures there, which is unfortunate. We will pull back our Elf. So let's see. We're going for X equals 8. So then we're able to pull back our Absolute Virtue. Yeah, I don't care about that opponent. Oh my gosh, we actually don't have any white mana. Okay, deck, I see what you're doing to me. I see what you're doing to me. All right, Town Greeter, go and find us that white source, please. Thank you very much. And we actually milled all of our Fix What's Broken, so... Hopefully the opponent does not exile our graveyard right now. An Iron Crag. They're probably playing with an Ugin if they're looking to ramp like this. And they have another Virtue. That's fine. Into a Swamp. So here comes Fix What's Broken for X equals 8. Ladies and gentlemen, hold on to your butts. comes a Galta. We also pull back the Armagon. No creatures to destroy, which is unfortunate. And then we'll put all of these creatures on the battlefield, summon Knights of Round, create some tokens for us, and at least a few of these guys have Indestructible. So even a full board wipe, we still keep a few of these creatures. 2, 4, opponent does have 6 mana. They drop a land that is 7 into Ugin, which is not good enough. And I mean, there it is. But we create some more tokens. And then they still have to deal with a Zetalpa and a Summon Knights of Round. Maybe we can find Parination with this one. Oh! Guys, I might actually be the worst Magic player that you have ever seen. Even though I don't see how the opponent gets out of this. If they do have an Ugin, they're just answering Zetalpa. It's too many creatures on the battlefield. If they have another board wipe, I mean, these two have Indestructible. But, I mean, I asked for Parination, and I get Parination. I just had to wait for one turn. And, I mean, yeah, the opponent's dead. This is 11 damage. But, wow, I cannot believe... You guys can roast me for that one. I deserve to be roasted for that one. Worst Magic player you guys have ever seen. And yeah, they're the 3 colors we're coming back to cook us a little tiny bit, which is unfortunate. We could have got it down maybe a turn earlier, but yeah, opponent has 1 mana to work with. And we have our own split up. No point going with a Collector's Vault. Well, I guess we could maybe find an Arden. We haven't found Arden yet. But yeah, the opponent's... we got the opponent right on the dot. So just like we drew it up. Ay, ay, ay. Ay, ay, ay. Alright, that was a funny one to end it on. I'll try and get one more for you guys. I really can't stay too much longer, though. Maybe we honestly just need to go more copies of, well, I don't know. I do like all the... Well, I guess the Curious Colossus isn't the best. I guess we could take out the 7 mana creatures and maybe go up another copy of, like, Zetalpa. Or not Zetalpa. Galta, the Stampede Tyrant. This is a hand that we can keep. Let's see what the opponent's playing with. If they're a more aggressive deck, we can get the Elf down to block. If they don't appear to be that aggressive, then we can get Downtown Greeter. And we'll definitely take the White Source. So we have a Bitter Triumph and a Elf that can help us discard. Opponent is going with the exact same thing. They are playing with Last Ronin's Technique. So yeah, I guess we get down the Elf. And I wonder if they're playing with Kavero. I wonder if they're playing with Kavero, then we might drop Herald of Eternal Dawn. And I think we can do that more or less at instant speed. They're going with the North Wind avatar. Absolutely disgusting. 7. Oh, you know what we can do, guys? We're going to do it like this, actually. We'll drop off Herald of Eternal Dawn. And then literally the only 2 creatures we have that are 7 mana are in our graveyard. We have all the colors we need. Pay 2 life. Here comes a Fix What's Broken for X equals 7. And we get the Curious Colossus down, which I think turns off all the creatures. Target becomes a coward. Oh, wait. When this creature enters... Wait, their creatures lose all their abilities. I don't know if that stacks forever. Okay, when this creature enters... Target opponent... Wait, when this creature enters, each creature target opponent controls loses all abilities. Does that include all their creatures going forward? I guess we'll find out. If they play this Town Greeter and it does not have any abilities, then I think Curious Colossus just shuts them down. All right, let's find out. No, they still enter with all their abilities. Yeah, that's pretty rough. Yeah, Curious Colossus just ain't it. And they have an Omniscience? That's disgusting. Beseech the Mirror? What would Beseech the Mirror find for us? I guess it would find... Is this instant speed? It's sorcery speed. We don't have any artifacts. You know what's crazy is the sounds. I think I want to get a collector's vault for us, because then we can start creating treasure tokens. So if the opponent does wipe the board, then maybe we can at least bring back Herald of Eternal Dawn. And at least we have not seen a Bringer of the Last Gift in the graveyard, but... Squirming Emergence brings back Omniscience, so we got an Omniscience gamer on our hands. Into Awaken the Honor Dead. To get rid of our Herald. Into a Lumra. That one just brings back all lands, I believe. They're playing with Yuna. That's pretty cool. I am so sad that Curious Colossus just, you know, lets them continue to have their abilities. That's kind of sad, if I'm being honest. Opponent's halfway through their library. All right, we did find a land, which is actually really nice. We'll go with the Collector's Vault, because then we will have 7 mana next turn. So we'll hold on to it. Opponent gets to mill 3 cards. Another Squirming Emergence. All right, I think we'll be able to win with Parination. Awaken the Honor Dead. Probably blow up our Curious Colossus. No, they go for the Collector's Vault. We'll go ahead and activate that one right now. 2, 4, 6. We can drop off a land. Just in case we need Bitter Triumph, even though I don't think we will. This is an easy town greeter. Thank you for your service, buddy. And yeah, I don't see anything in the opponent's deck that can deal with a Parination. And I hope they don't have a counterspell. But yeah, bring back Herald of Eternal Dawn with a hexproof and indestructible counter. So let's absolutely go. Opponent does have this bear that has vigilance and reach. But we do have Bitter Triumph and Quag Feast. So I think we'll be able to get the opponent. And I mean, they can get the North Wind avatar. Where is it? They had it in their graveyard. Yeah, and I think they are pulling it back, so they get to look into the sideboard. I hope they don't have an answer that can answer a Parination. They have just 20 cards left. They're milling more. They're down to 16. They go with another town greeter. They might honestly mill themselves out unless this North Wind avatar can save them. But yeah, I haven't seen anything in their deck that can deal with hexproof and indestructible. That is not a single forced sacrifice. So let's see. I guess they could have an X card. They got that one really quickly. Yeah, Meringue River Regent doesn't quite do it. Because they can't target this one. So they would need to bounce these 2 creatures, which they're not doing. They're just bouncing the North Wind avatar to just infinitely go into their sideboard. Honestly, I'm going to hit them with a Sleepy Face. It's a pretty annoying combo. At least I find. Yeah, so they're going to find another Meringue River Regent. They're going to find another... We might honestly be here for another minute or two, guys. And yeah, this Meringue River Regent, yeah, bounces that one and their North Wind Avatar, and then they just redeploy those two. And I think they have 15 cards in their sideboard. They found 3 of them. Dragons you control. All right, opponent, you got it. I literally cannot lose the game. So yeah, they bounce those two. All right, I'm just going to hit them with the Shift Enter, I believe it is. There it is. Auto pass. We're just going to sit back. I might speed this part up for you guys because, yeah, this is just so boring to watch. But I believe we win, so cheers. We're gonna do it simultaneously. All right, opponent. Yes, blast me for 6. North Wind Avatar. Blast me for 5. A horror story. I really don't think my version is that good. I really don't think my version is that good. Mine is definitely a meme version. Honestly, now that I'm thinking about it, I think you could build this version with fix what's broken with a Tear of the Peaks. Oh my god, did the opponent literally just shuffle their entire library back into their hand? Oh my gosh, guys, I'm literally want to go watch a movie with my wife. Summon Bahamut, sure, you got it, opponent. Cool, you're playing with all these cool cards. All right, guys, I'm no joke. I might actually go watch a movie with my wife right now. Yeah, opponent's storming off. Yeah, they're playing with all the cool cards. You got it, opponent. This is honestly the worst game of Magic. How much do you think that when this game is done, that this guy will put in a card that can answer a Parination card? I'm sorry for you guys who are sitting through this. This is crazy. I wonder if this game just goes forever, because they had a card. I didn't see what it was. I'm actually going to go back and look to see what card it was where they shuffled in their entire library. Did you see which card that was? Let's go back in the VOD. Here it was. Oh, that's the North Wind Avatar. They had Felden's Core. Exile this artifact and shuffle your graveyard back into your library. Hopefully they just play with one of those. Hopefully they just play with one of those. All right, opponent, you got it. It's your turn. Yeah, opponent, you win the game right now. You have a bunch of dragons. But I have Herald of Eternal Dawn. I guess I can't leave the game, which sucks. I absolutely have to sit here and do this. I guess I could have just... I didn't have to look back in the VOD. I could have just looked in their deck. Well, I mean, I think they've been through their entire library. They've probably been through their entire sideboard. Yes, opponent, you got it. No blocks. Ha, we found a Galta. That's pretty funny. I hate that I have to do this. Oh my goodness. Hitting this auto tap, shift enter is so finicky sometimes. Dragons, sure. Opponent, you got it. What should we hit them with, buddy? Should we hit them with the... There's a hole in your plan? I guarantee you this opponent did not account for this. They did not account for this. They did not account for this. All right, they are down to 26 cards in library. There's no way they play too many of these Canes. Maybe they play with one more. All right, and we drop a land, and we say go next. And I have to auto pass on the opponent's turn, and I'll be back in 1 second, guys. I said, all right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm back. Honestly, I don't think there's really any point in playing anything. They'll just kill our creatures. So, yeah, we'll just keep auto-passing. There we go. Tim, I think he's been through his entire library, I'm pretty sure. But, yeah, I agree. He might have a strategic betrayal. But I don't think so. Do you guys know if this deck plays with a strategic betrayal? I have a feeling he would have probably found it by now. And I mean, I guess if he does, then sure, let's go with Overlord. Because strategic betrayal, that makes us sack something. Oh, we milled our other Paranation. That is actually pretty unfortunate. He was playing with Virtue, wasn't he? Oh, we could actually maybe play a Curious Colossus, and then all of his creatures would lose their abilities, right? Okay. I just so wish Curious Colossus was like Overwhelming Splendor. Do you guys know that card? I absolutely love Overwhelming Splendor. I guess, yeah, they just have more of this Awaken the Honored Dead. 1, 2, that's 3 of them. Wait, I think we've maybe seen... I have this... Alright, wait, I'm gonna bust out the calculator real quick, guys. I have this untapped GG overlay. I don't think you guys see it on stream. You guys don't see any overlay right now, right? That shows like what cards are in my deck and what cards are in the opponent's deck. You guys don't see this overlay, right? It doesn't look like it on stream. But I can see every card that the opponent has played. So let's bust out the calculator. Horror Story is still here. Oh, I'm sorry that the chat isn't popping up on stream. I forgot to open my Dream Elements, my Caster's Lab. Wonder if it will pop up. 1 second. All right, yo, could someone throw something in chat real quick? I am gonna go with Curious Colossus. Turn their creature off. Pulling back Curious Colossus with our other Paranation would have been really nice. It's just, unfortunately, we did mill it. Yeah, this map is still going on. So no attacks from us. All right, like I said, with the calculator. This match has honestly been going on for like 30 minutes, Tim. And opponent's not giving it up. You said that they might have Strategic Betrayal, which, you know, I thought of as well. Look, all their creatures are just 1/1s right now. Oh, yo, we could hit them with the Split Up. That is just going to wipe all of their own creatures. That is pretty funny. All right, well, at least some of their loops are gone now. All right, I've been delaying way too long. Bust out the calculator. Kickoff celebrations is 2 plus 3 plus 4... plus 4 plus 1 plus 2 plus 2 plus 1 plus 1 plus 3 plus 2 plus 1 plus 5. We've seen 5 Meringue River Regents. That's not possible. Plus 1 plus 2 plus 1 plus 2 plus 1 plus 2 plus 22. All right, so we've seen 62 cards. And again, some of them it's counting twice because they have gone into the sideboard. I'm pretty sure we've seen everything. I'm going to turn this overlay off. But, Tim? How are you doing, buddy? I hope you're enjoying this game. I hope you're enjoying it more than me. This is absolute crazy game that yeah, if I'm being honest, I mean, I'm sticking through it because I think I've won. I'm sticking with it because I think I've won, but this opponent, 7 cards left, and I'm pretty sure they don't have anything that can deal with a Herald of Eternal Dawn. You know what? I will play the Future Shark. I think having another creature down. Tim, you honestly scared me a little bit. Saying that they might have a strategic betrayal, but I really don't think so. I really don't think so. And now, even if they do, we have a creature that we can sack. Even though, yeah, that one just gets blown up. They mill a bunch of cards, so they have just 2 cards in deck. Return a creature card from your graveyard. They pull back Yuna, who can keep getting back enchantments. 2 cards. That's how I feel right now. But we'll hit the opponent with That's rough, buddy. Holy Toledo's. That match lasted way longer than it should have. Opponent, I think they should have scooped it up. But I mean, hey, yeah, you can play. But Herald of Eternal Dawn from a Paranation, that was super clutch. I'll be honest, guys, I am sad about the Curious Colossus, that it just does not have all creatures enter with no, or every creature that they play after this creature is on the battlefield, they do enter with their abilities. That I think is so sad, because I do wish it was like Overwhelming Splendor. But honestly, I'm gonna do it to them, guys. They're playing with that stupid Wishboard Dragon. We say keep that backhand strong. Wow, get him out of here. GG. And I think this video length is, I'm going to have to really trim this one down if it makes it into the YouTube video. But yeah, that was it from me. Honestly, the games were rough today. The Timeless one especially. Oh, 2 Mythics. Mathemagix, that's a really fun card to play with. And a Restoration Seminar, disgusting. Terrible card. Terrible card. But I mean, I tell you guys, I'm like, I love Overwhelming Splendor. Look, I have this deck right here. It's even called Huge Splendor. This is what I wish that one Colossus did for us. This one says that the player, all their creatures lose all their abilities, and they all enter as a 1/1, and they don't have any creatures, lose all their abilities. I wish that is what that one giant did for us, but unfortunately it doesn't. All right, Horror Story, you said you wanted this version. Here it is for you. We'll move the Overlord over there. It's a bunch of 2-mana spells, split up. Honestly, maybe you go up a 3rd copy of Paranation, because I think Paranation has done more for us than fix what's broken, because these are really expensive creatures to play with. But I have Monday's video done. I have Wednesday's videos done. Monday's video will be the Timeless games we played, and trust me, guys, that Timeless deck is a really good one. Check out Monday's video. I'll try and stream Tuesday as well. I have Wednesday's video done, so this will be Friday's video. So there is a small chance that maybe we revisit this one on Tuesday and play this one a little bit more. But yeah, I'm going to end it there. I'm going to go watch Inception with the wife. We were talking about it earlier today. So Paranation is a really fun card. I really do enjoy it. So I guess you could get away with one of them. But yeah. You guys know how I end all my live streams. Let's go over here. The internet is an absolutely crazy place out there, so don't trust anyone out there except your boy right here. You guys can always trust my word. I hope you guys enjoyed those games, and we're just going to end it like we always end it. I love you guys. Peace out. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you next time.